Namaskar, namaskar. Welcome back to another live on Friday evening, 5 p.m. I know it's Friday. Thank God, Friday. Of course, no one wants to work or listen to boring subjects. So I promise I won't keep it that boring because, I feel like real estate is always fun. And especially talking about Windsor market is even more fun. So if you're new here, my name is Aditya Soma. I'm located in Windsor, Ontario. I'm a real estate investor and real estate agent. I do, on this channel, I help a lot of people like who are like me who wants to achieve financial freedom using real estate as a vehicle. So if that's something your goal, stick with me. And on this lives, you can ask any question that you have regarding real estate, finances. I'll do my best to help. I feel, the real estate has gave me that opportunity to be the financial, have the financial freedom to do what I love to do, which is, travel every year, 2 months, and spend more time with my family and with my now newborn baby girl Ahilia. I want to, of course, spend more time with her, traveling, take her for traveling, and all those things. I strongly believe that real estate has given me that. So if you want something similar, or you have your own different goals, right? But you want real estate to help you to achieve that freedom, then stick with me here. Ask any questions that you have. Don't be hesitant. No question is a bad question. Every question is worth asking. And if you're joining for the first time, let me know where you're joining the live from. What's your name and where you're joining from. And also let me know if my video is clear or not, because from last few weeks, I had really bad internet issues. I have to completely change my modem, upgrade my speed. I have done a lot of things. So just let me know if you guys can, hear me right, see me right, the audio is clean or not. Flying Star. Hey guys. Hi Manish. Hello, hello, hello. Tanvir joining from Calgary. Glad to hear that. So, like I said, let me quickly go over the Windsor market, and I'll answer any questions you have related to real estate. Um, so let me share my screen to give you guys a good idea about what's happening right now in Windsor market, because everyone is very curious and cautiously waiting on the sideline to make decisions about buying their primary home or selling the property or buying their next investment property, because those are all the things that many people are concerned about, this interest rates and the market crash, the term we've been hearing quite a lot now. um, so how is it really impacting on the market? That's why I do this monthly market update live, so you know exactly what's happening, the real data of the Windsor market. And we'll talk about generally Ontario after I do the Windsor market. Okay, so let me share my screen here in a quick second. Okay, so if you guys are seeing here, of course, you all have access to this website. You can, if you're a data analytic person who likes to analyze like me, go take some time and analyze. So this is the data just came out freshly for October month. So for the last month, because generally we need to have a complete month to see where we are standing comparative to last month, comparative to last year. So that's what I'm going to talk now. So right now, the new listings on the market are 765 for October. So that many new properties, the residential properties, came onto the market, and the sold properties last month residential are 366. So the number of sales has gone down drastically. So that means again, the number of sales happened less. But at the same time, the new listings, if we compare again, I'm going to compare with the last month and last year in a second here. But if you see, there is a drop of 11%, and the average home price 542,707. This is drop of 4% comparative to last year. But we'll compare with the last month, before last month, because we want more specific data to get an idea. Because the same average home price last month was 523. So let me jump quickly backwards into the average home price, because this is something very important you need to know on to predict whether the prices in that area is going up or going down. So in residential market, if we see the peak time in March this year, so this blue mark is last year. So this year, March, the highest was 723,739. And the lowest this year was August, 520,634 $520,634. So there was a huge drop here, almost $200,000 drop in the average home price in this March to August. And surprisingly, even though the interest rates gone up in the last announcement, still in Windsor, we haven't seen the drop after this August month, because this is a huge drop. So the average home price went up in September. It's very minor. It's only $3,000. If you see here, $523,928. But this month, the October month, there is a decent increase, $20,000. So if we do the math, quick math here, the percentage wise, to give you an idea on how much percentage the market has shifted, let's quickly do. If someone is a good at math, doing just on the top of the head, let me know in the comments. I love to see, there are anyone who is a good math person who can do the calculation just on top of their head. So 928. There is approximately 3.5% increase. 3.5%, which is pretty decent, because here we didn't see that much. We didn't see, like, probably we saw 0.4% or 0.3% of increase for these 2 months, and then we saw 3% increase, which is decent trajectory, because this gives some kind of hope for many people, because everyone was expecting to flat out the rates, go like just normal, not go too crazy up, not go too crazy low. So is this going to be is this, that's it, is the prices going to stop reducing anymore? Is that's the major question I've been getting. What do you guys think? Do you guys think, is this the final, the prices will stop increasing at this point, decreasing? Do you think the prices will continue to increase, or do you see there is, future, there is a possibility for prices to go down again? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, I'll share my thoughts one after the other, because let me go over more data here. Let me go over my other screen here. Okay, so if you see the activities, that's one of the biggest reason why I feel the prices has gone up in Windsor compared to last month by 3.5%, because the number of listings on the market has gone down. If you notice, the drop started happening in May, June. The highest drop happened in May, June, July. If you see this May, June, July, look at the number of listings, almost double the listings we have right now, more than double actually, in this month. So 1438, 1557, 1305, 1057, and then so just for last, from August, we have seen the drop in the price, right? Sorry, the increase in the price. So we have seen the drop in the inventory. So that means the supply gone down again. The supply went up so high in these months, and now the supply is going down. If you compare with the when the market was at the peak, it was 1050. So we are still lower than that time. And if, where the market still high in February was 680 listings, 540 listings. So we are close to that February month in terms of inventory. So that's one of the major reason I feel why average home prices in Windsor gone up. So because now there is, um, the inventory is not increasing. Not many people are selling. It could be, some people are hoping that the market might go up. They don't want to lose the money, because people who sold at this point, they sold lower than the peak market. So that's the activity. And the price to sell, the days on the market that I'm seeing is like right now somewhere from 25 days to 30 days on an average the properties are selling. So let me take some questions here. Joining from Calgary. Hey Manish from Dubai. Oh wow. Vikrant from Halifax. Flying Star from Bangladesh. Wow man, I think it's a morning time for you, right? Can you explain what is it good for first time home buyers, a condo or detached home? Um, Taranvir, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. So here, this is something, a common question I get all the time: condo or detached home. So I would even take a step back. What is your personal goal? If you're a first time home buyer, are you a family? Do you have kids? Where do you live currently? What are the prices in your city? you know what's your affordability rate? How much down payment do you have? There's so many questions I need to know before I answer your question. Because think, but let me give you a scenario example, two different examples. Let me make some assumptions. So let me make the assumption one: you're living in a smaller city like Windsor, where the average home prices are 542,000, and you can find a property, a decent single family. If you are not like looking for a brand new big home, if you're looking for a typical 3 bedroom 2 bath or 1 bath, in an average neighborhood, you can get even for 350, 400. So that keeping in mind, so let's say you're someone, you and your family making $100,000. So your qualification is somewhere around 300,000, give or take, because generally they do, maybe $400,000, based on with the current stress test on all. Of course, I'm not a mortgage guy. Talk to a mortgage person. I'm just giving assumptions and I'm doing some calculations here. So you qualify for 400,000 and you have 20,000 down. You're a first-time home buyer, right? If that's the scenario in Windsor, why do you want to go for a condo and pay all the fees when you can afford a detached home? But that being said, if you're someone, even though you're buying for the first time, but you don't want anything to take care of, like you don't want to care about snow, you don't want to care about roof, you don't want to care about any lawn maintenance, anything like that. If you're someone like that, condo might be the best option. But if you're someone like me who would like to have a better, who would like to have a product that can appreciate more. Because for me, I want my family to enjoy the appreciation over the period, because I'm still 32, 33. I'm sorry, 34 actually. So I still have like another 20 years of working years where I can pay off my mortgage. And by the time the property, generally comparative to condos, the detached homes appreciate better comparatively. So I can have a good asset for my kids. That's my side of thinking. But again, I have seen many people who are like, the other way around, they don't want to care about anything. So this is one case scenario. There is another example I can take. Let's say you're in the same situation, but you're in Toronto. So what can you get in Toronto for 400? I think your options are pretty limited, because if you want to live in that city, you cannot move to any other city because that's your favorite place and that's where you want to live and work. Then probably your options are limited, only limited to condos, because those are the only one you can get in that price range, as far as I know. But again, if someone can, you know, excuse me, I got a little bit flu, so you guys have to bear with me. So if you're someone like that with a limited budget, then going for a condo in that city is a viable option. So yeah, you got to answer so many personal questions to answer condo or detached. Hope I'm sorry. I wish I could give you a shorter answer, quicker answer, but it's not that easy. Trust me. When it comes to buying a real estate, that's exactly why I would say, like, whichever the city you're in, maybe sit down with a professional, a real estate agent and a mortgage agent. Talk to them, see how much you qualify for with the mortgage agent, and go talk to a professional, a good real estate agent in your area, and ask them all these questions, because they can show you a good ones. Definitely, every city has good ones. I'm pretty sure. You just need to sit down and ask them all the bunch of questions. What's my situation here? What are the good things about this? What are the bad things about this? You just pick their brain, and then you make a decision according to you and your family needs. So, Vikrant, what is your take on new construction in Windsor for the first time home buyer? So, Vikrant, great question. Of course, new construction everywhere is a beautiful, properties to live, right? No question. Personally, I still did not buy a new construction in Windsor, because one of the reason is the new construction home prices, not only in Windsor, everywhere across Ontario right now, especially during this pandemic, still the prices are higher. The prices are, in Windsor, especially in Windsor, not like Windsor Essex. If you go for Hammersburg, probably like they're a little cheaper, like smaller communities. But if I'm talking about just within the Windsor, the average home price of a brand new, like within the last 1 to 3 years built, approximate 1,500 square feet at least minimum, then you're looking at least 800,000. So personally, that's too much liability. I didn't want to go for at that point in time. But again, if you're someone who enjoys and who has a good career, who can handle that, or you can go for a new construction which has the in-law suite, so you can reduce your cost and still enjoy the newer community and newer home. So that's also depends on your personal choice, but in general, new construction is definitely much better, because you're going into a newer community. You will have a, pretty much the whole neighborhood is brand new, everything feels much nicer. Who doesn't like new? I do. But it comes with a price. Geez, I thought you were going to provide valuable information we don't know already. So, Amir, ask what you don't know. That's a very vague comment. Instead, rather ask questions. This is a live. You can ask the questions what you don't know. I don't know what you don't know, because what you know, not many people do know. So it's my responsibility to keep up to date about the market update for people who follows me, because a lot of people who are following me to learn about Windsor. So that's my responsibility. But if you have some questions, please, bro, ask. Vikrant, I think the price will go down again in coming years. Man, it's a tough one to handle. Yeah. Is there any specific reason that you think they can go down again? I would love to hear again, because one of my thought process. I even talked this on the 4 or 5 lives before, a month or 2 months ago. I was predicting the prices at least will stay where they are from August, at least till December, January, because they are still increasing the interest rates. And surprisingly, all of a sudden, from August, September to October, this month, October month, was surprise for me personally, because the rates actually gone up, the interest rates, and there is still predictions that the rates can go further up in December as well, because in December there is another rate hike coming in. The predictions are maybe might not be 50 basis points like they did last time, maybe 25 basis points, but the chances of going up are pretty high, because everyone, the Bank of Canada, as soon as they release the rates, they're like even releasing with the rates with a warning. Hey, FYI, we're going to increase again. So that generally should bring down the affordability of the home buyers, because a lot of first-time home buyers, that the stress test is going up and up. So um, that's what I thought. So, but all of a sudden, I think it really depends on the supply and demand. Until the supply keeps going down, the prices can go up. But if the supply increases, just like what happened in the March, April, May month, because when all of a sudden the interest rates gone up super high, people who were not in a better financial situation might have sold, have put their property for sale, because the people who thought I cannot handle this rate increase, because some people over leveraged themselves. Those are the one who got into trouble. Or some people who already bought a property before for hire, and now they have to sell, so they put it on the market, so they don't have an option. So yeah, at this point, I don't even want to give my predictions. Personally, I feel it will still stay in this 500 range average home price in Windsor for at least next few months, at least till next summer. That's what my prediction. Might not touch 600 at, because the still pretty high interest rates. um, Probably next year by mid, the interest rates might, um, they might stop increasing. They might even start thinking coming down, because generally, as per the many economists, that once the interest rate go up, to impact that on the inflation rate generally takes few months. So now they increased one after the other, and the inflation rate now came down to around like 6.89 something. Probably I haven't checked in the recent last 1 week. This was like a week before I saw when the rates gone up. So probably, inflation, if the inflation keeps going down, they might stop increasing. But again, that's a very very tough one to make a really guess. So I love to hear your guesses, right? Like, so if anyone else have a any reasons why you think the market can continue to go down, or if you think it can stabilize or it can go up, if you can share your ideas, like why, I would love to hear. What would your advice for a new realtor if it is a new place but still have a potential in doing real estate? So Manish, great question. I actually just posted a video that I did with my cousin who moved to Canada, brand new agent, completely. He moved here and no real estate experience, literally new to the country, still was able to, he got his license in few months, and in 3 months he made 3 sales. Like, that's pretty solid, because one sale a month for a brand new agent is solid. Um, so here are for some of the things. I shared a lot of things in that video. I would strongly recommend watch that video. In short, here's what I'll tell you. One, have a good mentor, because this is something very important, especially if you're brand new to the location and new to the industry. If you have a good mentor, that would definitely helps a lot. Number two, you gotta be with the right mindset, because real estate, in matter of fact, any sales career, right? It's you're indirectly, you're independent. You are the one who is controlling your time. Where you spend your time is only so make sure you spend your time in learning, a lot of learning by from books, podcasts, meeting people, meeting a lot of people. And the last one, you gotta get onto social media. You gotta do videos like this one. This is a must, in my opinion, because now the way sales are people are doing has changed completely. So if you want to be a successful realtor in any city that you're in, then you must get onto the videos. And if you're in Canada, especially if you're in Ontario, good news, if anyone who is in Ontario who is a realtor who wants to learn how to do social media like I'm doing, how social media helped me. I talk about this in a lot of videos. Even my partner Sahas, who is a social media expert, marketing guy, who literally like boosted his Instagram following from 5,000 followers to literally 150,000 followers in less than 30 days. So if you want to learn from both of us, we are conducting a boot camp. It's going to be like a 2 days live in-person boot camp in Niagara at a hotel. So after that 2 full days, you will be learning everything that you need to, and then we will have another 4 weeks of session. It's like every week, 2 to 3 hours of Zoom session, to make sure you're implementing what you're learning, and with our continuous feedback to help you like really grow using social media. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. DM me on Instagram. I'll send you the link for the bootcamp. How is Windsor for STR? John, sorry, what's STR? Let me Google. STR. Yeah, probably I never heard of STR, so I'm not that good at this short forms. So please elaborate. No idea. I couldn't find a proper short-term rentals. Okay, there you go. um, Actually, before COVID, it was really good, and now pretty much after COVID, I think they're pretty decent, because I know one of my client is doing short-term rentals. He posted like I see his posts quite often. Like he's doing pretty well. But again, I'm not like an expert in that area. I don't invest. I don't do much of a short-term rentals personally. But I see there is a growth, because whenever someone my clients coming to visit, see the property, stay here for 1 2 days, they always say it's hard to find a Airbnb here. So maybe just I would suggest like go do a quick search on Airbnb, see how many places are available, and check on their dates. If you go through their calendar and see how many days they booked, how many average days they are getting. So probably I haven't done much research on this. If you go research on Airbnb itself, maybe they might have stats like how many average days they're renting. That would be cool. But I think that definitely there is a potential for sure, because Windsor is a border city. A lot of Detroit, the young people come for partying here in the weekends, and a lot of people come for travel. And with these new jobs, a lot of employees are coming in for short-term work purpose. because of the bridge construction going on, and the EV plant, the construction have started, like they just broke the ground. So those things going on, right? So for that, new employees coming in, and the existing employers, of course, here and there, there's always like a lot of travelers here in Windsor. So there is potential for sure. But of course, doesn't hurt to do some research on the Airbnb itself. What is the resale value of any condo in general? Um, Mahinder, that's really like a tough question to answer, because condos, each location has a different value, and what age they're in, what amenities they provide, how they were maintained, because there are so many things that goes into the to tell what's the resale value. Because I have seen in GTA at some point that condo resale value actually went up much higher than the detached homes at one point, because where a lot of people were priced out, and their options were pre-construction or condos to buy. So yeah, it's not that easy to give a specific value. But if you look at, if you want to know like specifically like how much was the price the condo, for our average condos last year and this year, that's something we can pull. So I have access to, like, if you're someone looking into condos in Windsor, I would say reach out to us. What I'll do is, like, me or my team, I'll get the data for you, like last year what were average condo sale price, and what's the average condo sale price this year, this month. So what's the difference? So then you can do a prediction on how much change it happened. Same thing, so you need to pull for each particular city or neighborhood that you're looking to buy your condo, because in general it's tough to say. I want to buy a house in Windsor for under 300K and want to finish it up and be a host myself. Very doable. That's definitely doable, John. Especially like in where the Caesars is downtown area, or more like East Windsor, a little bit further close to the water, or even Walkerville area. Maybe Walkerville area a little bit tough to find properties under 300, but mostly you can find in a downtown area or West Windsor. This is where you have students also. They can do short-term rentals like furnished rentals. You can finish it up, like if you have a basement, if you have decent height, you can even add more bedrooms, more washrooms, and then get higher rents through short-term rentals. Definitely great idea and pretty doable. If you need help, definitely, of course, would you help me out on how to go about it? Of course, for sure. Um, I'll put the information in the comments. It's in the description, like our email address and our contact number. So reach out to us. We'll definitely more than happy to help you. Okay. The government has newly targets in the new level plan of immigration permanent residents around 500K until 2025, as of you all know. So how it will impact on real estate? That's a great point, Manish. That's what I was talking about in the beginning, like where indirectly, mm, the demand and supply. So because the Canada is bringing in more immigrants, that means there is more demand coming in, and especially Canada is being very smart. They're bringing a highly qualified um, people who are coming here. They're having jobs, or they're coming here and finding the jobs very quickly because they're very well qualified people. They're coming with a high good IELTS score, work experience, good educational background. So for people like that, it's not that hard to find a job here. Once they find a job, they want a place to buy. Before they find a job, they want a place to rent. So there is definitely a plan for, like, they're already implementing it. They're bringing a lot of immigrants here. Like you said, 500,000, definitely that's something going to keep the demand. But again, the, that should impact positively on the real estate market, because when the demand is high and if the supply is still low, the prices will keep raising. That's exactly what happened for, before pandemic, sorry, before March and April. Of course the pandemic has impacted, like the interest rates going down and all those things. The rates were pretty low and the demand was high. So even now, like, there are people out there who has money, who are ready to buy. Only thing is they don't want to buy at the peak time. A lot of people are predicting, that the prices go down, and their predictions were right. Like, the prices dropped by 30%. But now at this point, I don't know. It should continue to stabilize, in my opinion, for next few months. And then, once it's stabilized, once the interest rates, they don't increase anymore, um, I feel that's the time where again we can see further growth in across Ontario real estate market. Aditya, I think it is the interest rates keep going up, it will be more mortgage expense on the owners, so they might want to sell, and keep going interest rates also lower the eligibility for new buyers too. So, yeah, again, makes sense. That's what I feel. That's what happened for last, like, 5 months, right? Like, we have seen from March that significant drop happened, because as soon as the Bank of Canada started increasing crazily, 100 basis points, been years that they haven't increased that much interest rate. So where we are sitting right now, the interest rates, this are, pretty high interest rates comparative to, what we had like 6 months ago. It's almost like more than double the interest rates that we had at that point. So obviously, the qualification gone down. Obviously, the expenses has gone up. So, even though you're buying a 500,000 home, it's pretty much equals to you bought a 700,000 home 6 months ago because of the interest rates, or even 750,000 home because of the interest rate. There's a pretty high difference, pretty high, interest rate there. Excuse me here, one more second. I'm a newbie, Aditya. Just want to know how many types of houses are in the market. Condo, ADU, detached. Explain everything in short would be great. Okay, I'll do my best. So condos are one thing, which are, in a generally condos you can expect, either they could be a high raised or low raised. High raised are the one that, you see those bigger apartments, like with a apartment buildings, like that has a 10, 20, 30, 40 floors. Those are high raised condos. Or you can see low raised that are like 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors. Or you can say even on the ground, just like a townhome style condos. These are generally the type of condos that you see. Generally, condos means you have some kind of a fee associated to it. There is an association that handles some of the common amenities within that building, or within that, community. Because there is association, of course there is a fees, right? So you pay that extra fees. They include certain things in it that, cover some of your overhead, and you pay for the others. And there are generally some restrictions in every condos. Like every condos has some kind of a restriction, some kind of a, different things. So you gotta be binded to their policies. So that's a condo. And then you have detached homes. So detached single family homes, detached set, complete detached duplexes, detached multifamilies. So detached single family is, literally, the sounding itself, it's detached from anyone else. So it's your own, that the house belongs to you. the lawn belongs to you and you take care of your lawn, but also, the land that is sitting, you're not sharing with anyone else. Whereas with the condo, the land is shared between, how many ever condo units in that building. So that's how the detached are. And you might hear semi-detached and townhomes. So semi-detached is like just like the sounding itself, semi. You're like two units together. Like detached home is one house, right? Whereas there are two houses, but there is a shared wall and roof, half roof this side, half roof this side. So you have your own land, again, same like detached, but there is a shared wall. So the one house, it looks like literally one house, two units within that. So each unit is a different owner. And if it's a townhomes, then you will have like 4 or 5 units attached, sometimes three, sometimes four, sometimes six. They're attached in a row. So you have your own space, you have your own lot, but there is a common wall either on the right side or left side, sometimes both sides. um, you might have some small fees generally for towns and semis for common areas, like they might take care of lawn or grass cutting, or snow removal, those kind of things. Generally, they might do that for you. The semi-detached, and my favorite one. That if someone is interested in house hacking, who wants to um, reduce their cost of living, there is called duplexes, which means you have it. It's a detached home, but within that home there is two legal units. It could be one unit in the basement, one unit above ground, or it could be one unit above ground, another unit on top of it, or it could be one unit on the side, other unit on the right side and left side. So side by side, up and down, or one behind the other, but two legal units. You might see some houses have a basement, there is a kitchen and washroom, there is a separate entrance, but they might not be legal. You have to ask them if it's legal or not. You can call it a duplex only if it's a legal 2 units. That means legally the city allowed the property to become to rent, portion for someone. um, or you can go for 3 or 4 unit properties, triplex, fourplex, same thing. One structure, you have 3 or 4 units within that structure, so one detached. Again, the more units you have, the more income you can generate. You can live in one unit, you can rent out the other unit. So those are some of the common, and of course the multifamilies and the commercials, that's more on the investing side. If you're first time home buyers, maybe the first few are that good enough for you to get started. If you buy a house as your first time home and if you put 20% down, how soon can I get the money out? Excuse me, guys. So how soon can I take out money to my next property? Advise how to go about it. Citizen M. So, first of all, if I were you, if it's a first time home and if your plan is to buy for your personal use, I would not put 20% down. If your plan is to go buy a next home, I would not do, because generally, if you can qualify for 5% down or 10% down, put as low as possible. So that way, you already have extra funds ready, available. Either you can improve your property, force the value of the property, or save some more, add this money, go buy another house. So that's what the first way. Because personally, that's what I did. I bought my first house with 5% down. So now I had some more money, or I started saving up for my second house. It took me like, this is like in 2018, of course the prices were different. So maybe I would say like, if you save, if you're an aggressive saver and you have like you and your spouse working, I don't know, how many people in your family working, that's also matters, right? Like how much savings you have every month coming in, how much income you have. So if you're aggressive saver, then you can save more money and then buy your second property. But if you're looking as an investor, where you want to buy this property as an investment, and you want to refinance and get your money out and buy another one, then this is where we are talking about BRRRR strategy. I talk a lot about that strategy in a lot of other videos. Maybe I'll see if I can put a link later on, or just go on my channel, search for BRRRR strategy. You'll see some videos where I elaborate a lot. I'll try to give a brief idea here. So the concept is you buy a property that needs some cosmetic work. For example, cosmetic, what I mean by it, um, a property that has, like, outdated kitchen, outdated flooring, painting is ugly, light fixtures are ugly, but the property outside looks solid, furnace, AC, roof may be outdated or nice and clean. You buy that property under the market value. So let's say the current market value for a nicely updated home, just exactly the same thing, let's say it is 600,000, and you bought the property that is dated for $450,000. So now you invested another 50,000. You put 20% down for the property. You put another 50,000 to improve that. You upgraded the kitchen, upgraded the light fixtures, painting, flooring, all the things. Now the property, you forced the value, so now your property value gone up. So now you generally you're appreciating your property value. So now maybe by the time you're done with renovations and you rent out for good market rents, now go check the appraisal value. If your property value has appreciated enough, the force appreciation, then you might be able to pull out. So generally, if you do a successful BRRRR, you should be able to take out money from within like 6 months to 1 year or 1.5 year. Generally, that's the time period, in my opinion. If that's what you're looking for in specific, let me know if that is helpful answer or not. If there is anything that I'm still missing, ask me what I'm missing. Hi Aditya, I live in US. I'm a newbie. I'm currently researching and learning. What maximum loan can you get? How many such loans can you get in Canada? What do banks see before lending? So, Shrikant, good question. First of all, like, to know the maximum bank loan, it depends on your income and your debts. So, for example, if you're making 100,000 and you don't have any debts, generally, again, this is a very what do you call, the just a big calculation, because there is some complicated calculations that banks use, the income to debt ratios, they have certain percentages, but I'll give a vague one. 100,000 into 4 times, generally that's what you qualify approximately up to. So 400,000 is what you qualify approximately. So once you buy this property, and your next question is how many such loans you can get. So let's say you got this property and you rented out this property, and the rents that you're receiving from that property is covering all your expenses, your mortgage, your property tax, your insurance, your utilities, if you're paying any lawn maintenance, anything. So it's covering all your expenses, let's assume. So the debt you have on this property, because you bought a 400,000 mortgage property, now you have 400,000 debt, and you have 100,000 income, and plus you have your rental income. So now the banks take your income and plus rental income into account, and then they recalculate your qualification. Then whatever the qualification comes into picture, then they give you again loans on top of it. And also, if your second property that you're buying is also an investment property, they don't not only take your income plus your first rental property income plus your potential income from the next property that you're buying. So generally, if you're buying a cash flowing properties, you should keep qualifying for more loans. Generally, that's how I was able to get more loans, because that's where cash flow is something key when it comes to if your plan is to buy multiple properties. Hope that makes sense. And again, your last question here was, what do banks see before lending? Of course, the biggest thing they see is the credit history. Number one, the credit score. Number two, your income. And are you employed or self-employed? If you're self-employed, how long you've been self-employed from? Because generally they don't like to lend for self-employed people who are less than 1 year, and also self-employed people who are not showing any positive income, because a lot of self-employed people like me who don't show full positive like net income on their taxes. So how much are you showing your taxes? They look at that too. And they verify all your income documents, they verify all your expense documents, because when they pull the credit history, they will know what loans you have, if you have any credit card bills pending, if you delayed on any payments. So those are the things, generally your credit and your income verification. And of course, if you own any assets, they also look into that too. How much is your asset value? How much is your debt? How much does it cost with permissions and procedures to turn basement into a unit? Into units. So I only done one unit, the basement. I never did one basement into two units. So I can only talk about the one. And in Windsor, the city only allows to make basement only one unit. You can make another unit in the detached, like another detached home, but not basement into two units. So for one unit, again, this I know I always give a very vague answers, but unfortunately there is no straight answer, because it's not like a textbook answer. With real estate, there is a lot of differences with each property. So with the basement, let's say you're buying a newer home, a 20 years old, 15 years old, or 10 years old, there is enough height, like you have a legal height 7 feet, 8 feet. Your windows are much bigger. There is already grid entrance. Then, and you don't want to do separate any utilities, then pretty much doing a fire rated drywalls, insulating the ceiling. Maybe there is a interconnected smoke alarm systems. Plus, of course, you have to get the drawings from the designer, or if you already have a drawings from your builder, submitting that to the city, and the city fees, and the approvals from the city. So that's one of the most easiest one, and the most cost effective one, because you don't have to do any major work. The windows are there, the height is there, the grade entrance is there. Then your cost is generally, like, I have seen people have done it from 20,000 to somewhere from 20 to 30, 35. And again, depends on the square footage, depends on if it's finished or unfinished. I'm talking about the finished one. You just need to do the ceiling, there is already a kitchen, there is already washroom. But if it's completely unfinished, now you have to do complete unit plus permits. Probably it can go from 50 to 80,000. um, but if you don't have a height, then I would personally suggest don't even go there, because it's damn expensive. I just finished. I have another video coming for you guys. I talked a lot about that, because just the to get the height itself, it costed me $75,000. So that's expensive if you want to go that route. Don't do it. Um, because I learned my way. I learned my hard lesson, and it takes a lot of time. But if you have height, just windows and the ceilings and separating and finishing the basement and the kitchen and all those things, maybe approximately 100, give or take in that range. So that's approximate cost. And of course, the cost goes up if the material cost goes up, if the labor cost goes up, and depends on which city you're in. So that's also matters, because if you're in a bigger city like Toronto, if there is more labor, the demand for labor is less. Whereas in Windsor, finding a labor is tough. So the cost is a little higher compared to Toronto. So it depends on where you are. My personal suggestion is talk to someone who is good in that area, who is doing that, and and get some quotations. If you're doing if you want to do in Windsor, I have my partner, good friend, partner on my project, but not his construction company. He has his own construction company who does specialized in this basement units. So if you want to do something in Windsor, I can hook you up with him. Thanks for your information. Do you help first-time homebuyers in Toronto, or do you have any leads? Unfortunately, I don't work in Toronto because it's quite a far and it's not my area of expertise. But feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll see if I can send you a referral. I know a couple of agents, good friends who are doing pretty well there. So maybe I can send you a referral there. Since most of us are on H-1B work, like work visa, yes, is it legal to buy real estate for cash flow investments? If yes, do you know how many properties we can buy on a work visa? Tough one. I'm not in US, so I don't have a clear answer. I'll be honest, but here's what I know. I have a good friend of mine who invests in US, who has. So what he does, he bought his first property when he genuinely his plan was to move into the property. So he bought it. He's on H1 as well. He bought it for like 3.5% down, because in US you can buy it for lower than 5% down. And he bought it, and then after a few months he rented that out, and he bought another one because his situation changed. He wanted to move another place, so again another home. He bought like that, like he has 3 or 4 properties. So number of property limitations, I'm not aware in states, even in, but this is generally, I heard it's same thing in Canada and US. If you find the right lenders, right mortgage people, they can hook you up with the right lenders, because every lenders have different criteria. Some lenders allow up to 6, some lenders allow up to 3, some lenders allow up to 6 with them, not in total. And some lenders don't even have limitation if your numbers, if your income to debt ratio makes sense. Because if the property is a cash flowing property, some lenders don't have problem. So you have to find the right lender. So this is where finding a good contact in your city, wherever you're located in US, find a good mortgage broker. Don't go with someone like whom your friend referred, who said they'll give you a 1% cash back. Don't go for that people, because they're gonna hook you up with some stupid mortgage, stupid lenders who doesn't allow you to grow your portfolio. Rather, find the right lender who is good in your area, like look for the best one. Then they'll be able to, have a good knowledge. One of the best source to find those people, biggerpockets.com. Biggerpockets.com. That's my favorite resource, because there you can find a good real estate agents, mortgage brokers who are investor mindset, because that's very important. If they're investor mindset, they know how to leverage. Because if you're talking to me to buy properties in Windsor, I know much better than many average realtors when it comes to investing, because I myself invested in multiple properties. I know whom to talk to. I know which mortgage agent can do what. I know which contractor can do what type of work, how much approximate, who is the expensive one, who is lower one, all those things, right? Like when you're actually doing it, you know a lot more things. So that Bigger Pockets website helps you a lot. Go there, do some time, spend some time there. So wow, it's already 6. This lives, I don't always realize the time at all. By the time it is already 1 hour up. So let me answer this question, and then we'll call it night for now. Um, Citizen M, immediate surroundings to Toronto. What city do you think have best potential for future growth? I wish I have a better answer. I don't want to answer that because I'm not that much knowledgeable around GTA area. Maybe I'll do my best to bring someone who is expert in that area's future, because I always come with guests. Once in a while, I come solo, sometimes with a guest. So let me find some guest who is expert in this areas, who is exploring and researching about these areas more often than me. um, with the better answers. So until then, maybe I would suggest, just do some Google search. Sorry, I wish I could answer it better on that one. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. It was fun. A lot of valuable questions. A lot of great discussions. And I love to see if you're watching live after I posted this. Let me know what do you think happening going to happen with this interest rates. What do you think is how it's going to impact on the prices? Because right now I'm seeing from August the prices are going up a little bit. Do you see this going to continue, or do you see it's going to drop? Let me know in the comments below. And that being said, a final word: if someone interested in learning Windsor market and meeting more local people, local investors, getting to know the contractors, property managers, insurance people, and all the different trades, then I'm hosting a meetup. This is in Windsor, November 10th, 7 to 10 p.m. You're all welcome. I will put a link below, or in the description, or in the first comment. I'll be pinning that comment there if you want to join, and we can meet in person. A lot of people have been asking me, like, when can we meet in person? So this is the time to meet in person. So feel free to join. Click the link in the comments or to the description. That Thank you so much for your time, guys. Glad to hear. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.